New year, new pleasure. Start 2025 with Starship's Customer Appreciation Days every day in January. Visit Starship locations on Old National Road in Atlanta, Terra Boulevard in Jonesboro, and Highway 34 in Noonan, and indulge in an extra 20% off when you whisper the secret keyword pleasure at checkout. Awaken your passions and spice up the new year with 20% off in-store every day in January. Just say the secret word pleasure. Make 2025 the year of endless pleasure with Starship, your trusted partner in sexual health and wellness.
Hey space fans, you're tuned into another exciting episode of Astronomy Daily. We've got an absolutely packed show for you today with some major developments from across the space industry that you won't want to miss. We'll be diving into SpaceX's latest Starship test flight that saw both triumph and setback, and Blue Origin's milestone achievement with their New Glenn rocket. We've also got updates from the International Space Station, where astronaut Suni Williams has been busy with a critical spacewalk. India's space program has hit a remarkable new milestone that puts them in a very exclusive club. And we've got stunning new revelations about our galactic neighbor Andromeda from the Hubble Space Telescope. Plus, we'll remember a visionary filmmaker who brought one of sci-fi's greatest stories to the big screen. Let's blast off into today's space news. SpaceX's 7th test flight of their massive Starship launch system brought both excitement and disappointment to space enthusiasts worldwide. The test, which took place at their Texas launch facility, marked only the second successful catch of a Super Heavy booster using the launch tower's mechanical arms, nicknamed Mechazilla, a remarkable achievement in rocket reusability. The Super Heavy booster, equipped with 33 methane-fueled Raptor engines generating an incredible 16.7 million pounds of thrust, performed flawlessly during its return to the launch site. This massive thrust output makes Starship the world's most powerful launch system, surpassing both the historic Saturn V rocket and NASA's current space launch system. However, the celebration was tempered when the upper stage, designated as Ship 33, experienced what SpaceX diplomatically called a rapid, unscheduled disassembly during its ascent burn. According to Elon Musk, preliminary data suggested an oxygen and fuel leak above the ship's engine firewall led to the breakup. The incident caused some disruption to commercial air traffic as debris fell back to Earth, though normal operations resumed quickly. Ship 33 had been upgraded with new avionics, propulsion systems, and forward control flaps, along with next-generation heat shield tiles. The mission had ambitious goals, including the planned deployment of 10 Starlink satellite simulators and a controlled splashdown in the Indian Ocean. Despite the setback, SpaceX maintains its characteristic optimism. The company views each test flight as a learning opportunity, with plans to implement improvements including enhanced fire suppression and increased vent capacity. They're already looking ahead to their next launch, potentially as soon as next month. This testing program represents crucial steps towards SpaceX's broader ambitions, including large-scale satellite deployments, NASA's Artemis lunar missions, and eventually, Musk's vision of establishing a self-sustaining city on Mars within the next 2 decades. Earlier in the day, in a historic moment for commercial spaceflight, Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket successfully reached orbit for the first time, launching from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida. The early morning launch marks a significant milestone for Jeff Bezos' space company, which has been developing this powerful rocket since 2013. Standing over 320 feet tall, New Glenn represents a massive leap forward from Blue Origin's suborbital New Shepard rocket. The launch vehicle features 7 engines in its first stage and 3 in its second stage, demonstrating impressive technological advancement from a company that has taken a methodical, step-by-step approach to rocket development. While the orbital insertion was successful, the mission wasn't without its challenges. During the recovery attempt, the first stage booster was lost while trying to land on the ocean-going platform. However, company officials had previously noted that booster recovery, while desired, wasn't critical for this inaugural flight's success. This achievement positions Blue Origin as a serious competitor in the orbital launch market, providing much-needed competition in a field largely dominated by SpaceX. The successful flight demonstrates that Blue Origin can now offer services for heavy satellite launches, deep space missions, and potentially future crewed flights. Named after John Glenn, the first American to orbit Earth, the rocket is part of Blue Origin's broader vision of making space more accessible and ultimately enabling millions of people to live and work in space. This successful orbital flight represents a crucial step toward realizing that ambitious goal. With both New Glenn and their planned projects like the Blue Moon Lunar Lander and Orbital Reef Space Station, Blue Origin is rapidly establishing itself as a major force in the commercial space industry. This successful launch opens new possibilities for satellite deployment, space exploration, and the growing commercial space economy. Meanwhile, up on the International Space Station, NASA astronaut Suni Williams has been keeping busy despite an unexpected extended stay in orbit. Williams, who arrived at the station aboard Boeing's Starliner spacecraft several months ago, completed her 8th career spacewalk yesterday, demonstrating that even unplanned circumstances won't slow down the essential work being done in space. During the 6-hour extravehicular activity, Williams worked alongside astronaut Nick Hague to perform critical maintenance on the orbiting laboratory. Their tasks included replacing a faulty rate gyro assembly, a crucial component that helps maintain the station's proper orientation in space. They also installed protective patches on damaged light filters for an X-ray telescope and upgraded a reflector device used for navigation during spacecraft docking procedures. Williams and her crewmate Butch Wilmore have been stationed aboard the ISS longer than initially planned due to technical issues with their Starliner spacecraft's thrusters. NASA made the difficult decision to return the spacecraft to Earth unmanned, leaving the experienced astronauts to wait for their next ride home. The good news is that both Williams and Wilmore are scheduled to return to Earth next month, traveling back with fellow astronaut Nick Hague and Russian cosmonaut Alexander Gorbunov. Fingers are crossed. This latest spacewalk adds another impressive achievement to Williams's already distinguished career. As a veteran of multiple ISS missions, she continues to demonstrate the dedication and flexibility required of astronauts, especially when faced with unexpected challenges in the demanding environment of space.
New year, new pleasure. Start 2025 with Starship's Customer Appreciation Days every day in January. Visit Starship locations on Old National Road in Atlanta, Terra Boulevard in Jonesboro, and Highway 34 in Noonan. And indulge in an extra 20% off when you whisper the secret keyword pleasure at checkout. Awaken your passions and spice up the new year with 20% off in-store every day in January. Just say the secret word pleasure. Make 2025 the year of endless pleasure with Starship, your trusted partner in sexual health and wellness.
In a major milestone for India's space program, the nation has successfully demonstrated its ability to dock 2 satellites in orbit, joining an elite group of spacefaring nations. The space docking experiment, or SpaceX, saw 2 485-pound satellites successfully rendezvous and connect in Earth orbit on January 15th, making India only the 4th country to achieve this sophisticated feat after the United States, Russia, and China. The mission, which launched on December 30th aboard an Indian PSLV rocket, utilized 2 spacecraft designated as Target and Chaser. After several days of careful testing and simulation, the satellites executed a precise choreography, first maintaining position at 50 feet apart, then closing to just 10 feet before completing the final docking maneuver. The Indian Space Research Organization confirmed that post-docking operations are proceeding as planned, with both satellites now functioning as a single unit. This achievement represents more than just a technical milestone. It's a crucial stepping stone for India's ambitious future space plans, including lunar sample return missions and the construction of their own space station, the Bharatiya Antariksh Station, targeted for completion by 2035. The ability to dock spacecraft in orbit is essential for complex missions that require multiple launches to achieve their objectives. While other space agencies like ESA and JAXA have demonstrated similar capabilities through their cargo missions to the International Space Station, achieving autonomous docking in open orbit puts India in a unique position to expand its space capabilities. The success of SpaceX paves the way for their upcoming Chandrayaan-4 mission, a robotic lunar sample return mission planned for 2028, and establishes India as an increasingly prominent player in the global space arena. In other news today, the Hubble Space Telescope has just completed its most ambitious survey yet of our galactic neighbor, the Andromeda Galaxy, creating an unprecedented portrait that reveals hundreds of millions of stars in extraordinary detail. This remarkable achievement took over a decade to complete, combining more than 600 separate observations into a stunning mosaic containing 2.5 billion pixels. Looking at Andromeda through Hubble's eyes has given us a unique window into not just the galaxy's present, but its hidden history as well. The telescope's sharp vision has managed to resolve over 200 million individual stars, each brighter than our sun, appearing like countless grains of sand scattered across cosmic shores. And that's just what we can see. Astronomers estimate Andromeda's total stellar population at around 1 trillion stars. What makes this survey particularly fascinating is how it's reshaping our understanding of galaxy evolution. Despite forming around the same time as our Milky Way, Andromeda appears to have followed a notably different developmental path. The new data shows it has a higher proportion of younger stars and distinctive stellar streams, suggesting a more turbulent history of galactic mergers and interactions than our own galaxy. One potential culprit in Andromeda's dramatic past might be its compact companion, Messier 32, which appears to be the remnant core of a once larger galaxy that had a close encounter with Andromeda. Such cosmic collisions can dramatically affect a galaxy's star formation patterns and overall structure, leaving lasting fingerprints that astronomers can now read in unprecedented detail. The survey itself was a massive undertaking, requiring more than 1,000 Hubble orbits and combining two major observing programs, the panchromatic Hubble Andromeda Treasury and its southern counterpart, FAST. Together, they've given us the most complete view ever of this magnificent spiral galaxy, which spans roughly 25 times the diameter of our Milky Way and lies about 2.5 million light-years from Earth. To wrap up today's episode, we have some sad news from the world of science fiction cinema to share. David Lynch, the visionary filmmaker who brought Frank Herbert's epic novel Dune to the big screen in 1984, has passed away at the age of 78 due to complications from emphysema. While space enthusiasts might know him best for his ambitious adaptation of Dune, Lynch's influence extended far beyond science fiction. Born in Missoula, Montana, Lynch was a true Renaissance artist who left an indelible mark on cinema with his unique storytelling style. His $40 million interpretation of Dune, while controversial, showcased his distinctive visual flair and helped pave the way for future adaptations of this beloved science fiction classic. The film's bold artistic choices and striking imagery, though divisive, demonstrated how science fiction could push creative boundaries. Lynch's passing was announced by his family, who shared a touching message that captured his singular spirit: keep your eye on the donut and not on the hole. His contributions to cinema earned him 4 Oscar nominations and an Academy Award for Lifetime Achievement in 2020, cementing his legacy as one of the most innovative filmmakers of his generation. His unique vision and artistic courage continue to inspire creators across all mediums, including those who explore the frontiers of space in both fact and fiction. R.I.P. And that brings us to the end of today's episode of Astronomy Daily. What an incredible day of space news we've covered, from groundbreaking achievements in commercial spaceflight to revolutionary astronomical discoveries. I'm Anna, and I've been thrilled to share these fascinating stories with you. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest developments in space and astronomy, head over to astronomydaily.io. There you'll find our constantly updating newsfeed and can listen to all our previous episodes. We're also very active across social media. You can find us as Astro Daily Pod on Facebook, X, Tumblr, YouTube Music, and TikTok. Thanks for joining me today on this journey through space. Until next time, keep looking up and stay curious about the cosmos.